Hi everybody. I have decided to do a little tarot tag. So there's 10 questions. They're all tarot related. And the reason I'm doing it is just to get to know people a little better. I've seen a couple of posts and they were fun. I did one and enjoyed it. I did Alora's. Anyway, be gentle. I've never done this before. Okay, so first question. What's your most spiritual tarot deck that you own? So for me, the most spiritual deck that I feel, at least, okay, so they're all spiritual, but the one that I actually feel more connected with in terms of spiritual work and how I relate to it, I would have to say, for now, for the period that I'm working with right now, it's the Pagan Otherworlds. I have a very strong relationship with it and I love it. I think the artwork induces a state of mind in me that I need. It's beautiful. It's very subtle, I guess would be the word. The colors are subtle and it's very traditional, but at the same time it does bring something new, and I use it when I have mostly spiritual work that I need to do. If there's like questions that are not dealing with day-to-day things, or so it's mostly for my relationship in general with the world. I use that deck for now. There's others, but for now this is the one. Second question. Do you use tarot as a magical tool? For example, spellcrafting, path working, or manifestation. So I'll explain. Spellcrafting, if you say you're creating, if you are at all pagan, or if you are actually Wiccan, then you would use the tarot to bring about or finalize a spell, so mimic it. So for instance, the Sun card, that it brings so much joy and realization and fulfillment. If you're looking, say, to get a job and you're looking for something to kind of bring everything together, and instead of writing, or you could combine like writing power words to it, you would use the Sun card and put it on your altar as you're doing the working to bring in that sun energy. So that's one example. Second example would be path working. So entering the card, trying to visualize yourself as you're going inside the card and then exploring everything around it, almost like a daydream, I guess. So that's kind of what path working for me is. And the last one would be manifestation. So bringing into your life, a separate from doing spell work, a particular energy. Just, putting it almost like one of those vision boards. So having that in front of you on a daily basis. So let me answer that. For me, I do use it in spellcrafting. I will put it in depending on the energy that I want to bring in. And it's almost like using herbs, or writing something, you're writing you're structuring your spell, bringing that in the energy. I can't speak today apparently. That is what I use it for. I have done path working with it, but primarily right now I'm using it that way. How did you learn tarot? So I learned tarot by myself, but I actually started reading cards before. So I was reading playing cards. And then around 1819, I discovered tarot and I started reading tarot. I was fascinated with the images, and I tried just intuitively to look at the images and see what they would say, and then I actually got down and read a bunch of books, and I just pretty much taught myself. So that's for tarot. Fourth question, what's your least favorite tarot card? Why? And if you could, how would you change it? My least favorite tarot card is the Nine of Cups. And so far, I actually changed it. I did my own version of it. But I don't like the Nine of Cups because he looks like he is an alcoholic standing behind his cups. And he has a red nose. And it just does not bring in the necessary energy that I'm looking for in the Nine of Cups. I think that it, in a way, it reminds me of the Four of Pentacles. I think it's because of the way that he's kind of sitting and in front of the cups in the traditional version of it. The Four of Pentacles, I think he's holding them. But in any case, it gives me that feeling. I just don't like that card. And how would I change it? Well, I did actually change it. I actually did the Nine of Cups in the Tarot of the Abyss, and I switched it. I made it look like there's a woman and she's smelling the flowers, so she's enjoying the harvest. She has like a moment of peace. She feels content and is just smelling the roses or flowers in general. So I wanted to shift the perspective. Now, does it work for everybody? Probably not, but it worked for me. So that's the part of it. Okay. Do you prefer reading for yourself or going to someone for extensive readings? So I will do daily readings for myself. I will do readings in general, but if I get to a point where I'm doing a big reading and there's something major happening in my life, I have had instances where I did go and have somebody read the cards for me, only because I wanted to have a more objective approach to the matter, and it's very hard to be objective when you're reading for yourself. You see things and then you have, at least for me, I have the tendency of drawing more cards. So I'll read the cards, and if I can't figure it out, I'll just continually try and clarify things for myself. And I found that it's easier if I get to that point to go to somebody else and have them explain things to me, and usually it's worked. 6. If you were to have a conversation with any of the archetypes of the tarot, which one would it be? What type of personality would they have? I would love to have a conversation with the Death card. I think it's the most interesting perspective. I mean, interesting card. You can view it in multiple ways. And in a way, it's scary. I think I would love to go in and delve into the card and to have a discussion with Death and see what things that they would say to me. In terms of the personality that I think that it would possess, I think it would be a grandma type personality, somebody old and wise, somebody who will tell you things how they are and will try to not scare you, I guess. Okay. 7. Have you ever thought of creating your own tarot deck? Well, for those of you that don't know this, I have. I've created my own tarot deck. I did one, and I'm currently working on 2. And I did the Hidden Waters. I'm working with Avalon on her Bonestone deck and Earth Flesh Tarot, and I'm working on my own Tarot of the Abyss. So I am working on a couple. 8. What's the one card you fear of getting in a reading and why? I don't like getting the 3 of Swords in my reading. It's just, it's that emotional thing when you see those swords in that heart, if you're reading a traditional deck, that makes me think, oh crap, something is going to really affect me. Whether it's going to be a heartbreak or something that is going to be intellectual, that it's going to really sting, and I'm not looking forward to that. And no matter how I try to avoid looking at it, I know it's going to be there. So once that card is in, I respect that card. It's one of the cards that I actually really respect. But at the same time, I'm nervous when I get it, and I'm, if I do get it, I will try and look and see the surroundings and what exactly it's relating to. But obviously, I'd prefer not to. 9. What system do you use or prefer? Rider-Waite, Thoth, or Marseilles? Marseilles. I can't pronounce Marseilles. Anyway, you get the point. I prefer the Rider-Waite, and it's just what I learned, and I just connect with it better. I have tried the Thoth, and I can't. I just don't get it. It doesn't work for me. I know I should try a little harder, but it just didn't. And maybe in the future I'll explore a little, but right now I'm a very weight girl. And the last question, do you use tarot spreads? If yes, which is your favorite? If no, why? So I will use tarot spreads when it's like very small things. Like for instance, if I want to know, in about a time frame, like past, present, and future, I will do like a small spread that will say that. I'll do like a monthly division. So I'll use like 2 cards for each week. But on a regular basis, I don't use spreads. I will usually pull as many cards as I feel that I need to explain a situation, and I will sometimes combine them. I will combine them with Oracle, and I'll combine them with the Normand. I have used a lot of spreads in the past. I did a lot. Like I have multiple books with spreads, and they did come in handy. And I have to say that I think if I were to analyze the way that I'm throwing down things, the cards, I'm actually borrowing, I think, from a lot of spreads that I learned, and probably creating a different little system, but I never really pay attention or write down the way it goes unless I actually have to. But for spreads, I use short and sweet. So 2 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards at the most, past, present, future. I have done elaborate spreads for people, like when I'll do a reading for somebody. If say I've had people ask me to do a year spread, and then I will actually have to break it down and use a traditional spread, and then I will just go to a book that I have and I'll look for something that I prefer that will be very clear. So it's mostly for them. So those are the questions. I'm going to post them below, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. Bye.